Hello and welcome to Miniature Realms, and welcome to a quick review of the Warlord Games 8th Army Carrier Patrol set. Now, I've not done any unboxings for Bolt Action for a while now. Most of the kits that I've got are older ones, including this one. But this is the next kit that I'm going to be cracking open in order to carry on with my British 8th Army project. There is a project vlog on this channel. I'll put a little link in to that playlist now. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to open it up anyway and have a little look at the bits and think about them. So I thought I'd record a quick review of them. And should anyone find this useful, then that video's there. But anyway, let's have a little look at it. So primarily I ordered it because I needed the 2 universal carriers, but I did need a few more troops, I think just 4 more, to sort of work with the original 1,000-point list that I did. And you get 12 plastic British 8th Army in here as well. So just flick it over and see what you get. So you get your 2 universal carriers, you get your 12 British 8th Army, and all your decals and your cards and etc, etc. So I thought it was a nice little set, and quite a reasonable price to get it all in one. But let's crack it open and have a little look. So you get your usual sprue description list, or your parts list, which you get, or you seem to get with a lot of the Warlord kits. It's really useful, especially for someone who's new to World War II gaming. I'm not as familiar with all the weapon types and names and things as more veteran players are, so it's definitely very handy. Without that, I would have struggled, and I've been doing a lot more googling when I was building the 8th Army that I've already done. And it does give you a little idea of how you can assemble them here. So it's pretty cool. Same as that I've used already with the standard British 8th Army inventory box set, but nice to see it's in here as well. But looks like a fairly clear assembly guide for the universal carrier. It's pretty basic. Whether that's too basic or not, I can only tell after I've built it. And I'll come back later in this video after I've built one of them and give my little bit of feedback on it. But first impressions, seems pretty good. Move that to one side for now. So what do we got here? So you got your British Army sprues, got your nice bases with the little lips on. I like these, very cool. And then 2 identical sprues. Now I won't go through these in detail. I have done an unboxing of the actual British 8th Army box, which is just more of these sprues essentially, but it's a lovely kit, so many options. You've got the options for sort of metal helmets and Scottish headgear and turbans and loads and loads of stuff. But again, if you wanted to see a more detailed review of the infantry themselves, I've already done an unboxing of that and you'll be able to find it on the channel. So I'll pop those to the side as well. But what I'm interested in is what these look like. And whether I think they're going to be an easy build or a tricky one, we shall see. So these are the universal carrier sprues. It does look fairly straightforward. I can't imagine it's going to take me an awful long time to build these. I hope that's true. They look pretty cool. The plastic crew look quite good. You've got 4 there. I like that, that's very nice. And then here are some metal crew to go in the back, which is quite nice as well. Don't know whether to, so you get 4, so that means you may be building one without them in. I may not paint these and leave them unglued. So that I can, it'll be 2 in each I believe at the back. I don't know whether to leave them out or not, and just put them in if I've got the crew in them before I place the models on the table. They look like nice sculpts. I do prefer plastic miniatures in my armies rather than the metal ones, but these look pretty good and I can't see them taking more than a couple of minutes to clean up. But yeah, I'm not so sure I'm going to glue them in. I think I'll have them so I can have them as removable. There's a couple of optional heads there. I do like the radio operator. That's very cool. and relaxing with his arm over the side. I do like them, very, very cool. I'll probably leave them separate for now and paint them at a later date. Then you get the smoke that you get in a lot of Warlords boxes. I seem to have got a bit of a inconsistent what bases you get with them. Sometimes it's the little MDF ones, sometimes it's plastic ones now. I've not built any yet, but I'll be tempted to put them all on the same time for consistency. And then you have your little card, your little stack card, which is really handy for new players like myself. Quite like these. I'm not sure if I've got them for everything I've bought, but specifically, especially as I've bought a couple of Rubicon tanks. Obviously not going to get them in those. I wish they sold these on their own, or at least made them available for download so you can print them off and cut them out, because I quite like them early games. Having cards is quite cool. I've got 2 decal sheets for the Universal Carrier. That'll be because I've got 2 Universal Carriers in the set. But it seems like a good variety on here. So you've got stuff for Kiwi regiments. Don't recognise all of these, but Desert Rats there. But very, very nice kit overall. So what I'll do now is I will build one of the Universal Carriers and get a bit of a handle on how easy it is to do, and I'll come back to you when it's built. And here we are, all built, and pretty easy they were too. I think I managed to build them both in about 40 minutes or so. That includes cleaning up the metal miniatures. There was very little flashing at all on the metal miniatures. And generally metal miniatures that don't have much flashing clean up fairly easily with a file, and these definitely fall into that category. No sort of, there was no mould tears, so there's no excess kind of chunks of metal that need to be trimmed away, and pretty clean and pretty good. And I do prefer plastics, but these are lovely sculpts, and because they will generally sit in here, they're not going to chip too much or anything either, so I can definitely put up with those. What you get in the actual box is you get a set with 2 extra spare metal heads, because the plastic standard Universal Carrier kit, which makes up part of this 8th Army Carrier Patrol box, that the helmets have net with little bits of camouflage stuff on, so they're not suitable for the North African campaign. The actual driver and gunner themselves do have long sleeves and long trousers, but you can't really see them, and they are a little bit out of scale compared to the metal ones, but again, because of the positions they're in, I think once painted it doesn't matter too much. They're definitely nowhere near as good quality as the metal sculpts themselves. I was thinking about just not using the metal heads and not using the guy with the beret, and using spares from the 8th Army sprue, which is a fantastic option. I just decided to go with what was here at the time rather than get those out, and a little bit of variety. But if you're doing an 8th Army project, you're going to have loads and loads of spares knocking around, so that's definitely an option. So I haven't glued in the metals as yet. They fit in quite well. So you've got this guy that sort of leans on the side. He fits in quite nicely. You've got your radio operator, and I have popped a little magnet in there just to hold him a little bit steady, but he's also going to be used for something else. So I wanted him to be a removable even if I do glue the others in the future, but that will come up on a future Bolt Action project vlog, what I'm going to do with him and why I've put a magnet in there. So keep an eye out for those if that does interest you. But other than that, as you can see, nice little kit. Does what it says on the tin, etc, etc. And the second one, everything's the same apart from I placed the heads the opposite way around on these. 2 more sculpts for the guy sitting in the back. This one's not quite as pretty as the ones in the other. He fits on fine. This one I find a little bit confusing. So the design of him, he's got a little ridge on his bottom, which would suggest that sits on the edge like that. However, that's not how he's pictured on the box, and I'll show you that now. You can see on the box here, it's only his elbow showing, and if you put him in that same position, which I'll show you now, so something similar to that, he's not actually sitting on anything inside, and you can't really see it unless you look in. Maybe I'll just be able to see it there, that he's kind of hovering, so he's kind of doesn't really fit in properly, so I'm not quite sure what the design is there. I'd rather have him sitting down inside. You'd think he wanted to be taking cover rather than more than perching on the edge like that, though that seems to be the way he kind of, it looks like he was designed to sit, even if they wasn't modelled that way on the studio thing. So that's interesting. I'll probably just leave him tucked in anyway, and people aren't really going to look inside much, but just something I picked up on, that it didn't seem to fit like it shows on the box, and it just seems a bit of a weird design with it, but all in all, I'm really happy with them. Really nice things, and I needed them to as transports for the last couple of units and things for my 8th Army. So all in all, how they price up is a good value. So it's $33.50. This is full RRP. Obviously, if you go through third-party retailers, you're going to get 10 or 20% off that. So £33.50 will give you the 2 universal carriers, a sprue of 8th Army Desert Rats, and the little metal extras and things, which is not too bad. So a universal carrier on its own is $15.50, so 2 of those would be £31, plus your would be £6 for a Desert Rats frame, so that would make it $37. So you're already saving £3.50 there, and then you've got 4 extra metal guys riding in the back. You obviously still get the plastic ones on the sprue, so 4 extra metal guys in that price as well. So there is a bit of a saving, and you get some extra things. So if you're doing 8th Army, then the 8th Army Carrier Patrol box is really good value, and I quite like that you can buy them, and you've got the crew that they would carry. If you're building a list around these as all your transports, and you want everything in transports, you maybe not even need the standard inventory box. You just buy these with your inventory. Obviously that's a little bit niche, people tend to build differently, I'm sure, but if you were going everything mobilized and you wanted everyone in these little carriers, then you could just buy multiple sets of these, and because of their capacity size in terms of the transportation, then it would be perfect. But anyway, I really like it. I had good fun building them. They build up nice and quick. This will probably be the next thing I paint now I've built them. I'm really looking to crack on with my 8th Army project now, so because I've got another bolt action project lined up, and I'd like to get this finished. So I'm going to try and put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, with painting these and get them finished. So look out for the next bolt action vlog. Unless plans change, it may well include one or both of these painted. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon.